What's up guys, Andrew Baena here, and welcome to part 3 of Baena's Best Bands. This is my compilation of new music that I've been listening to for the month of September 2017. This month I have a lot more music to cover than the previous month, where I think I only had 4 artists. This time I actually have 6. Some of the artists I'll be covering today are pretty well known, but there's a couple of hidden gems that I hope that you'll like. So to kick things off, first and foremost, I feel like I have to talk about the new Architect song. I've already done a cover of the song, so you might have heard of it already through me or just being a fan of Architects. However, if you haven't heard of Architects somehow, they're an amazing metalcore band from the UK. They've been around a very long time, and they just released a new single kind of out of nowhere. It's titled Doomsday, and it is the first song that they have released since their guitarist Tom Searle passed away. He was also a founding member, so it was pretty impressive that they were still able to pull off a song that sounded exactly like something Architects would do, despite missing a key member. So I was very impressed with the new song, and here's a little clip of what it sounds like. This is Doomsday.
They say the gods are young, no use in saying what it's done is done, 'cause it's not enough, and when the night gets light.
Alright, next up we actually have a local band. This band is called Archspire. They're very different than Architects. They're actually, I guess the best way to describe it is the fastest technical death metal you will ever hear in your life, or at least that I have ever heard in my life. I'm very proud to say that they're from Vancouver, which is where I am also from, and I don't really know what else to say about these guys. I've known about them for quite a while, but they just released their 3rd studio album called Relentless Mutation. It literally is the most ridiculous thing you will hear in a very long time. And here's a little clip of one of their new songs. This song is called Calamus Will Animate. Alright, next up we have another band that a lot of you have probably heard of already. This band is called Veil of Maya. There was a little bit of divisiveness on their last album because they started including clean singing, and this new song is no different than that. It still features amazing, in my opinion, sounding choruses, much like the last album had. So if you weren't a fan of the clean singing in Veil of Maya, then this song is still probably not for you. However, if you liked Veil of Maya's new style, then you will probably like this song. This song is called Overthrow, and here's a little sample of what that sounds like. Alright, next up is a band that I hadn't heard of before until this month. That band is called Currents. This is a band that I had never heard of until this month, and they were definitely a hidden gem. I immediately fell in love with them and found out that their new album had come out a few months ago. If you're a fan of bands such as Humanity's Last Breath and other heavy stuff like that, but also a fan of metalcore, this is kind of like the perfect combination of like that really gritty, heavy deathcore, but also with really, really fucking good metalcore vocals. That's kind of the best way I could describe it. Anyways, this song is called Apnea. Here's a little clip of what that sounds like. Alright, and we have 2 bands left. This next band is another local band. I'm very lucky to have a ton of amazing talent in my area, in my local scene. But anyways, this band is kind of like a, I don't know, I would describe it as like a love child between kind of like Misery Signals and kind of Between the Buried and Me. It's basically like, you know, it's got that really, really almost like borderline ambient kind of sound that Misery Signals had. And the vocalists definitely are reminiscent of Misery Signals as well, which Jeff, who is their vocalist, is not shy about admitting. However, their guitar work has a lot of elements that are similar to Between the Buried and Me, and I know these guys decently well. I've played a bunch of shows with them and shot a few videos for them, so I've got to talk to them a lot about how they kind of got their influence for their music, and that's pretty much how they have described it to me as well. Anyways, this song is called You Will Always Look the Same to Me, and here is a little clip of what that sounds like.
You will
final band of this month is another band who you might have heard of before. This band is called Counterparts, another awesome Canadian band. They're more on the hardcore side of things. I don't know if I would necessarily consider them metalcore, but they're definitely kind of somewhere in between, like hardcore, metalcore, like heavy hardcore, whatever you want to call it. Either way, they're fucking awesome. They've pretty much released like a good album every time they've released an album, and they somehow continue to just deliver excellent sounding music. I think that they actually lost one of their original members, or he quit or something recently. I don't follow the band too closely, but I would never have known if I didn't read that somewhere, because this sounds exactly like what I would expect from a Counterparts record in the best way possible. I don't have too much to say about this new release just yet, because I just started listening to it like today and yesterday, so I don't have that much opinion on it yet, but from my initial listens I can tell that I'm going to love it. So anyways, this is a little clip of their newest music video, which is called Swim Beneath Your Skin.
You are the blood in my heart, please. You are the blood in my heart.
Alright, so that is all for me on this month's segment of Baena's Best Bands. Please leave a comment below letting me know if you found out about any new bands through this segment, or if you think that there's any bands that I've missed, whether it's new music or old music that I might have never heard of. I love reading all of your guys' comments, and I've found some awesome music by reading them, so please let me know your suggestions. And last but not least, I have to say, please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, subscribe, hit that notification button, all the generic things that every YouTuber says, but we gotta do it. So please do that if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.